Welcome to the Probably Soccer Podcast, where we probably talk about soccer. My name's Eddie,
My name's Justin.
and we are your hosts. We're just two buddies who are getting into American soccer and wanted to document our journey as we dive into the world of soccer in America. On today's episode, we'll talk about the U.S. men's national team's disappointing loss to Belgium. We'll talk about weird and quirky things in the USL this week. We will have, obviously, Kicker's Corner, and ultimately make some game picks heading into this weekend. Spoiler alert, we got my team versus Justin's team. It'll be a great episode. Thanks for listening. Justin, how we doing? How we feeling?
Dude, we're so good. International soccer is ramping up, headed to the World Cup.
Yep.
We had an amazing week for USL. Sadly, no MLS this weekend, but that's okay. They're all doing their international thing. We had a Kickers game this week. Dude, it's been great. It's just been good. How about you? How
great.
You feeling?
Basketball is still here. College basketball it was nice. It's Sweet 16 weekend, so I was able to have at all times basketball on one TV and soccer on the other. I literally had a buddy over last night to watch the basketball games. We were just switching through USL games last night, that just like as they were happening. So it was really fun. It's definitely, since it's our first year of being into soccer, it's weird having to, Saturdays, it's like, oh, soccer's on. And even though it's like basketball. But it's fun figuring it all out and being able to see my bracket continue to get absolutely destroyed. I don't know. How's yours doing, Justin?
I have a 98%, but I think that leads me into still 540,000 in the world. So, not great. I will say though, it is good to have soccer in this time slot, because this is usually the dead time of sports.
True.
When it comes, if you don't have it, because I don't know, football just ended, college football just ended, basketball's starting to get good, NBA's going into the playoffs, but we're kind of in the dead all-star game stuff. Hockey is going into playoffs, so
baseball's
it's ramping
here though.
up, but
baseball.
Yeah, that's true. Baseball just started this week. But yeah, having the MLS, having the USL, having these international games just flowing through the normal sports time, it's been good to fill the gaps. It's been great.
Yeah, it's really fun, and as we've both mentioned, it's international break right now, and it's one thing for us to get into soccer, American soccer specifically, and watching different club teams, watching MLS. It's another thing getting into soccer and I've watched a few friendlies since getting into soccer, but this is my first one where I'm really locked in, because it's this is the last international break before the World Cup.
Yeah.
And, it's prime nap time on a Saturday. I woke up early yesterday, played a kickball game on the mall. It was electric, and was ready to take a nap, but I was like, no, I'm going to lock in on the men's national team. And it was 1-1 at half. I was watching, ended up taking a little chair nap, not going to lie. And I woke up and I literally said, what just happened? Because it was 4-1 when I woke up.
Yeah.
So, a lot to unpack there, Justin. Obviously, I assume you were watching. What did you notice about our team? I have lots of thoughts, but I'm curious yours first.
Yeah, I thought the first 20 minutes was great. I thought we looked Belgium being one of those teams, growing up hearing about the World Cup, Belgium has always been kind of sneaky in the background, at least. Mm-hmm. That's what I'd give them, because I don't know a lot about history of World Cup stuff, but I thought we looked pretty good. I thought we stayed with them.
Yeah.
I didn't know if it was a fluke or what, but yeah, first 20 minutes you could have fooled me. I mean, we got it in the back of the net. We let one concede, but so did they, so it was fine. And then as soon as the second half started, we just kind of lost our energy, and we kind of just lost. It looks like they were just more prepared, and we see a lot of criticism from other countries about the U.S. team, and they're like comparing it to the MLS. They're comparing it to all these things like it's a lower league, which we don't believe to begin with. But we looked bad, and that doesn't help our case, right? Like,
yeah. Mm-hmm. It is.
We just didn't look good.
I would argue the first like 40 minutes or so, where we looked. Yeah. I was pretty impressed, even though I spent more than half of that time figuring out which team was which, because the uniform clash was just insane. I was happy we were wearing the red and white stripes. I mentioned that last week that I was really hoping we wore them, and once I figured it out, I was like, all right, cool, we're doing good. The Anthony Robinson shout out up the Fulham, come on you Whites. Anthony Robinson with the corner kick and Weston McKennie with that finish. Oh,
fantastic.
I was actually on my phone when it happened, and I saw we scored. So watching the replay, though, when I saw that, I was like, oh, we're winning the World Cup. We're winning the World Cup. No cap.
Yeah,
no question. No question about it. And then they equalized right before half, and then I missed, like all of the rest of their goals. We got one back, so the final score was 5-2 from what's his name, plays for I think Derby in the championship, the English championship. Yeah. He had one in like the 87th minute. Obviously that's like garbage time, but it was still a good goal. And so there's a lot to focus on with the bad in that game. Obviously on Tuesday we have the Portugal friendly, and it is funny, the people in our group we've already beaten in the fall, but also those were friendlies. But if people are going to freak out about the game against Belgium, they got to remember that was also a friendly, not a competitive group game. We're just trying to figure out who's going to start, who's going to play in the World Cup. I love Tim Ream, obviously, up the Fulham, as I was saying earlier. But maybe it's time that we, leave him in Charlotte. I don't know. Maybe, just maybe. And I don't know. It's just Twitter was really funny afterwards. I don't know if you saw any of the memes.
Yeah.
It was disaster on Twitter. And so, like, I'll watch the Portugal game Tuesday before I really have a solid grasp on how I'm feeling going into the World Cup. But it's not looking good. So, like, chat, like, are we cooked or what?
I do think I think it has a lot to do with experimental. I have to give like some credit to the coaching staff. Like maybe we're just pulling out like this B lineup to see how it works.
Yeah.
And maybe that's what these friendlies are for. But if we're trying to, this is my worry, Eddie. My worry is that the World Cup is such an opportunity for American soccer.
Yes.
It doesn't have a giant following. Obviously, like, and we'll get to the USL games later, but, like, you can tell with watching these games that they need some funding to them. They need a little backing. They need a little bit more effort. But we're not going to get that unless people start watching American soccer. And the best way we could possibly do that is by having a good U.S. men's national team this year and at least making it to the semifinal. And I know they said that was the goal, and I know that that's what they're pointing it to. But if we could make it that far, I think we're going to see this kind of new uprising of fans that are like, even these younger kids who watch the World Cup. It'll be kind of like a U.S. hockey Olympics type thing. Yeah. Right? Like we have this, like they go out and win gold when they didn't. And because of that, we have kind of this resurgence in American hockey that we still see today. They have an opportunity to like do the same thing, but this team has to be better. And it helps. It just makes me like question. I know this is probably the best team we've ever had. And I like just with the way that soccer has advanced in America. Yeah. But my worry is that with this team not being good enough, are we ever going to be able to grow American soccer to like what it is, right? And I know we'll get into like the actual sport later. I mean, you were going to talk about like how we're feeling about it, but it worries me when we put out a team like this, when we have an opportunity to really like make a lot of money, and we have an opportunity to like put new clubs out there that people will actually support, because an 11-year-old who sees Christian Pulisic score a major goal in the World Cup, on a winning side, he's going to fall in love. And he's going to go and want to go play soccer and watch soccer. And that's how the fans grow, right? But if we put bad team out there and we can't win anything, then that's all lost. It doesn't mean anything. We're just going to have France win the World Cup again, or Argentina win the World Cup again, and it's just going to go to the wayside.
Or Spain, or England,
or Spain, or Belgium. They're really good, I've heard.
Yeah, apparently, according to
they're
yesterday.
Super good.
Yeah, it's really interesting watching the game, and I know Pochettino has been in, head coaching conversations back in Europe. And so I was talking with someone today, and I was like, hey, my take, I think Pochettino, he's throwing it. So that way he could just, head back to Europe, get one of those coaching jobs out there. So I don't know. Again, we've got another game against Portugal. We'll see how that goes. I'll hopefully be able to watch it. I'll at least watch the highlights. And if that game stays within like 1-2-ish, I would be satisfied. But yeah, I agree, Justin. It's just a special time, hosting the World Cup, and it would be really nice if America can make a run, at least make it out of the group rounds, please, please. Yeah. But yeah, it's just getting me really fired up for the World Cup.
We have a I'm not gonna say our group's bad, but doing the half-done research I have, we should be making it out of group stages.
Yeah.
But
it's no group of death, for sure. No group of death.
My worry is we get out of group stages and then we get blown out 5-0 in the first knockout stage.
Yeah.
And that would just
I did see today.
It's going to do one of two things. It's either going this game can it's either the reality of U.S. men's soccer team, or it's we're going to regroup after this and we're going to be we're not going to let all of our fans down type of deal. So we'll just have to see the outcome as we get closer to the World Cup.
Yeah. I think we've summed it up pretty perfectly. I did see on Twitter, though, today, most likely, depending on how the group rounds go, our round of 16 opponent could be Belgium. So maybe a little redemption arc. Who knows? I don't.
We'll need it.
Yeah, we would need it. But yeah, I'm excited to see the Portugal game, see how that goes, and ultimately get ready for a great World Cup here in America.
Super excited.
Yeah, but as we mentioned, there was no MLS this week, but there was some USL action. And I think this is a perfect time to head into today's Kickers corner. That was a good one. Justin, you watched the game. What's your observations?
You're trying to make my editing job way harder, aren't you?
I'm just having fun.
Yeah. Dude, I loved, man, we were texting before the game about the because I said the Kickers were going to win 3-1, and obviously, it's all jokes. I didn't think we were going to win, but I thought we'd come back with a vengeance a little bit,
Yeah.
I wanted a little pep in the step. I didn't get that. We didn't get that at all.
Yeah, I'll say this. I was really excited. I had a great week at work. It was Friday. I got off work. I said, I'm going to go home, make some dinner, and sit down and watch my favorite American soccer team play the great, beautiful game. And here are my observations. All of my teams are the same. Great on defense, can't finish goal-scoring opportunities. The Kickers' defense is great. I thoroughly enjoy watching them play defense overall. Jan Fillion is doing a heck of a job with making saves.
Amazing.
However, if Jan Fillion's man of the match every single week, which I don't think technically he was this week, but if he's in the running for every single week, it's good. But if you're not scoring goals, you're not getting the 3 points that you need to go up the table. And I was joking. I forgot who had texted, and I said, wow, the Kickers are right back where we belong, second to last in the table. And so it was again, I'm still really it's encouraging, but also it's like, wow, we have got to get our stuff together. We've got to finish goal scoring opportunities. We've got to play better. We've got to be a little more heads up. It's been 2 whole days since the game, and I've just kind of been like, at least I got it over on Friday. I didn't have to sit through it, and I could actually enjoy basketball on Saturday. That was one nice thing about it, is we got the loss over with, and I was able to just watch basketball and flip around through the USL games on Saturday. So hopefully Darren is working with the boys. We're going to go into City Stadium Wednesday night against Loudoun United and get the job done. But winning in the Open Cup is good, but it doesn't get you 3 points in the league. And we have got to win and get 3 points in the league. I was joking that I should start one of, like, the Manchester United guy. He's like, not cutting my hair until Manchester United win 5 games in a row. I thought about doing, like, not getting a haircut until the Kickers get 3 points. But yeah,
that's a good point. You should do that.
No, my hair's already pretty long. I need a haircut, and I don't need it. I love the Kickers, but I don't know if I trust them with this challenge. I'll say that.
That's funny. Yeah, I do want to shout out, like, our defensive third is amazing. Mm-hmm. Like, I feel like they know what to do as soon as they get the ball into the defensive third. They know how to get it out of there. It's just when it comes to our midfield and it comes to our attacking, as much as we love Kirkland, and trust me, we do.
My boy.
It's we just can't finish. And maybe it's like maybe it is that midfield area that we need improvement. Is we can score once they have the ball, but it's like we can't get it to them. It seems like the defense knows exactly what they're doing. Shout out Fillion once again for just putting in an outstanding performance. This game could have easily have been more than 1-0, for sure. Could have easily not. I mean, I'm looking at it now. They controlled the possession 63% of the times. Total shots is 6. Shots on target is 8. So he got 7 saves out of all that. So I mean, he's doing a great job,
which is a great performance overall.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. But we have to improve in our midfield. We have to improve. I'd love to just, like, I don't even care if we lose 5-0. If we have 30 shots, like, just to prove we tried.
Yeah.
I'd love it.
Yeah. It's similar to watching DC United, which I'm glad I didn't have to watch them this week. Got a break from that. But we're turning the page. We got a big matchup Wednesday night, Loudoun United. Last time we played in the Open Cup against them, it was an exciting match. Hopefully that will happen again. I wish it was at Loudoun United so I could go, but having home field advantage will be huge for this matchup. Playing a USL championship side, made it to the playoffs last year. They've got a new head coach this year. I haven't been able to watch them just yet, but I don't think they've won a game yet this season. So it'll be interesting to watch them play. I think they're still figuring things out, kind of similar to the Kickers right now, just obviously very early in the season. But Kickers are going to win by at least 2 goals.
You got to hope so. And to give our boys credit, the last 2 teams we played are number 1 and number 2 in the table. And I know it's early, but it still says something.
Yeah.
Like, we're playing against the top of and I think we'll even ourselves out, and we'll figure out where we are at the table. Because right now, second to last is not fun. It's not fun to talk about. It's not fun to watch. So
yeah, I will be interested to see how we play when we play teams like the Cosmos or Hearts of Pine or Westchester. Towards bottom part of the table, bottom half. So it'd be really interesting. But that's all our thoughts on the Kickers. We still love them. I'm excited for this week to see what will take place.
Eddie, with no MLS this week, we just had the USL, and hey, I'm not complaining about it. We know we'd love some USL football. How'd you feel about the week? How'd you enjoy it?
So it was fun. Like I mentioned earlier, one of my buddies was over watching the basketball that was on, but he used to play soccer. He enjoys watching soccer, so I had USL on the other TV. And it was just funny, like we kind of caught the end of several games like as they were happening. And we got to talk about the end of the Oakland Orange County game. That was insane. In stoppage time, they're driving, and the goalie for Oakland is there, and then they miss a shot, and or maybe they got possession, and the goalie, in trying to distract, which at first I was really confused, but now I'm like, okay, it makes sense. Try to get like a purposeful red card to like at least stop the motion of what's going on, and they got a good shot off. But shout out to the Oakland defender that was able to make it to the goal to get the ball out. But I was just so confused watching it, of like, bro threw the ball in, there were 2 balls in play, and like there was so much going on, and I just, in my short 10 months of watching soccer, I have not seen anything like that. It was just, it is a true testament to like the goofiness of this league, which is partly the reason why I love watching American soccer, what makes American sports fun. So that was one of the games we watched. And it was interesting. I was watching the AV Alta Chattanooga game, and I love the ESPN Plus broadcast, but sometimes it's like, all right, cool. Chattanooga's first goal, you couldn't even see the ball go into the goal because of the camera operator. Like, it was just really interesting. Like, I was like, cool, I know that they scored, but I don't really know how. And then they got a penalty later, and it was I was able to watch that one. And so, Justin, what did you notice in USL this week? What stuck out to you?
Yeah, I was putting my daughter to bed, and then I get all these texts from Eddie, and he's
so
yelling
funny
at me about this Oakland Roots game. And I love, hey, if I got one thing about USL Championship, I love the Oakland Roots. I am rooting for you. They're my team. I've adopted them. We are totally here.
Until Atletico Dallas joins next season.
We'll see. I might just fall in love. But that being said, I couldn't watch the game live, but I was going to go back and take a look at it, and then I get a bunch of texts from Eddie about this. Yeah, it's a weird moment. I don't know if there was strategy involved, if he was just frustrated. Can't blame him either way. Weird sequence of events, but that's kind of the beauty of these lower league soccer teams, is they're just trying to win, and they're trying to prove that they can do it, and sometimes that comes with these unorthodox games. But you could tell, like, the crowd was there cheering it on and doing it, so like obviously, like, it's got some of the backing. The one thing about the ESPN Plus stuff, man, ever since we started having to watch on there with the USL, I don't know why they would allow such like poor viewership. Like, the whole point is for this to be your primetime soccer thing for when nothing else is going on, and yet you can't get a guy to operate a camera. For the calls have been great. I thought the announcers have done a really good job, but the camera work has to improve. Yeah. And I understand, like, it's not always, like, it can be hard in some of these stadiums. Me and Eddie used to work in some stadiums, and we know, like, some of them have weird layouts, really weird layouts. And so I understand it's a weird place to put a camera, but man, with technology these days, it just goes back to the point of, like, if we want USL to succeed, and they say they want it to succeed, but now we've got CBA problems, right? We've got CBA problems, and our cameras aren't working, and all of this stuff, and it just seems like you saying it with your mouth that you want this league to succeed, but there are some glaring issues that have to be addressed in order for this to go to the next level. There's no other way.
Yeah. I forgot to make a joke about this during the Kicker's Corner, but one thing I do love about the ESPN Plus broadcast is they're all local, and so you get the local commercials and sponsorships. And so watching the Kickers game against Knoxville, the instant replay was sponsored by Bush's Baked Beans. And so every time that they showed the replay, they would say, "Let's roll that beautiful bean footage."
Yeah.
And so
I remember that.
I think that's a great way to sum up the Kickers gameplay, is beautiful bean footage. Nothing about soccer or getting actual goals. And I think that perfectly encapsulates the ESPN Plus broadcasts. Let's roll that beautiful bean footage. When people think of USL, why not think of Bush's Baked Beans?
Why not?
So it's so funny. But big week in USL League One. Two of the teams got their first ever league win in their franchise. Granted, the Cosmos are like a reimagining, but their first USL League One win. So shout out today's shout outs are going out to the New York Cosmos. Congratulations on your win.
Shout out Cosmos.
And then I would also like to shout out Sarasota on their win. It was a gritty win last week. I just realized I think they lost this week. I'm having second thoughts here.
No, I think no, Sarasota won this week against Portland Hearts of Pine.
Bruh. I'm like, because I think they were playing. I just want to make sure I'm right before we post this.
I'm looking at it right now.
Bruh. Sorry for pausing.
You're all right. Nothing we can't fix in post.
Facts.
They won against Portland. No, that's their first win this week.
Right. I was thinking of the Naples game against Forward Madison.
Okay, let's just.
I'll go back to shouting out Cosmos and Paradise.
Yeah. Okay. Can you give me before you start? Can you give me a thumbs up?
Yeah.
Put it all the way up and then put it all the way down and then start.
Yeah. So big week in USL League One. Two of the brand new teams got their first ever dub. So today's edition of shout outs, I would like to shout out first the new rendition of the New York Cosmos, New York, New Jersey Cosmos. Congratulations on your first ever win. Big ups. And also would like to shout out the Sarasota Paradise on your first gritty win over Portland Hearts of Pine. Congratulations.
Let's go.
That's not an easy team to beat. Both Cosmos and Sarasota. So congratulations. Welcome to the league. You've got about one more win than our Richmond Kickers. So congratulations.
True.
And so, yeah, it's exciting for those. I've been following the Cosmos pretty closely, not going to lie. I ended up buying a sticker before the season started, and they sent me a magnet and a Pele card with Pele on it. And so that's on my fridge. And so I've kind of gotten a little affinity for the Cosmos, and I'm really glad that they finally got their dub. And so, yeah, shout out to those two teams for successfully getting their first league win. Here's to many more, just not over the Richmond Kickers.
Yeah, I love the Sarasota Paradise too. I remember their first week of the season. I think I've mentioned this before, but they're we're kicking off in paradise. I love that. I love the branding.
So
I think
good.
their style is good. I'm glad they got a dub. I'm glad they got a win.
And their kits are
really good.
Chef's kiss.
Really good.
Chef's kits.
We are rooting for you, Sarasota Paradise and New York Cosmos.
Yes.
I want you guys to succeed.
Just not when you play the Richmond Kickers.
Just not when you play the Richmond Kickers. Correct.
So Justin, I mean, we're a month into the season now, and this is kind of our first time really following the whole season. I got into soccer about halfway through last season, and then I got you to get into it. What have you enjoyed about watching, American soccer, both MLS and USL? I know we've been talking a lot about USL this week and men's national team, but what have you enjoyed about watching American soccer?
Yeah, man, I think it's a very unique thing for us because when we look at sports in America, when we look at the NFL, the NBA, the NHL, which are primarily the sports I watch, we were watching the top leagues. Like when I'm watching the Dallas Mavericks play the OKC Thunder, I know that these are the best basketball players in the world that have come and played this game, and I'm watching the best kind of talent. And when I watch for me, it's the Cowboys. When I watch the Cowboys against the Houston Texans, I know at least one half of those teams is the best football players in the world. I don't have to argue that. I don't know about what's going on in Houston, but that's not the point. It's same thing with the MLB. I meant to mention that, but the hockey, baseball, whatever it is, like we know that we're seeing the world's top league. That's not the case in the MLS, right? And so it comes with these kind of quirks. You're not watching the best soccer
Mm-hmm.
you could possibly see. You'd probably go to the English Premier League for that, and that's kind of how we grew up. Like you being a Fulham fan and me being a Chelsea fan, like we've kind of gone that way to be able to look at that. So you kind of have to fall in love with something else other than the actual sport you're watching, because you're not watching the highest level. Maybe someday, but that day's not today. But what I have found, which I think is really cool, is the culture in the MLS and the culture in the USL is so unique.
Yeah.
And like the idea that like the USL especially has these teams in these small markets. Like you'll hear from a team in the middle of Ohio from a town you've never heard before, but they've got this really cool soccer team, and they've done a good job of like branding. They've done a good job of like doing all the things that they need to do in order to like kind of get the city to join them, right? And so I've just loved the culture. If it's from Austin FC's aura, like we've talked about, just like their ability to put on a good show, or if it's all the way down to the Oakland Roots, who have a great touch with the community down there in Oakland, and you can see that like they show out for them, and you can see that they're like really in support for them. That's really cool. Or right across the country with the Vermont Green, two teams I've really fallen in love with, but that's because of the culture. It's because of the style, and you get those quirky things, right? Like you don't have to worry about them not playing hard because they're all trying to do advance. Like all these USL 2 guys are trying to advance to USL 1 and 1 to championship, and then hopefully they're all going to get MLS contracts. But even the MLS guys are trying to like, maybe I can go play overseas. So it has that like uniqueness to be able to say like they're all working super hard to win, and they all want to play soccer, and they're there because they want to play it, and the fans are there because they want to watch it. I think it's a really cool culture.
Yeah, it's so nice. I love watching American soccer. One, because I don't have to wake up early to watch it like I do for Premier League / La Liga or whatever. Two, the quirkiness is nice, and also it's not like you're watching bad soccer. Like I know we made the point of like it's not the best league in the world, but like MLS still has Messi. They just signed Antoine Griezmann, like, and maybe it's that's a retirement league. MLS is not a bad league. Like, give it 10 years, it's going to be a top 5 league in the world. At least in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's getting close to it already. It's definitely top 10. And 5 years ago, it would not have been top 10. But now people regularly put it in the top 10 best leagues in the world. And so MLS is like not a bad league. USL has the potential to be a good league, but obviously a lot going on there. But the quirkiness and it's the closest that Americans have to the local club feel in Europe.
Yep.
And it's always really interesting. People are like, look at this atmosphere for this team versus, this third tier in Germany. And I'm like, well, that third tier club in Germany was founded in 1920, and this team was founded in 2019. So it's going to take a while to build up that culture. But it's so nice having those local clubs that people can go to and support. And I don't know, maybe I got to save this for a soapbox day again. Just getting on my soapbox of how some people say that like it's like weird to support your local MLS club. Like you should just watch European soccer, and I fully disagree with that. We'll save that for another soapbox day. But I love watching soccer, American soccer, especially. I was already into all the other sports, and soccer I always thought was boring, but it's not. Like there's always something going on. There's always like you're watching 45 straight minutes of gameplay, like plus stoppage time, and then halftime, and then another 45 minutes of just straight gameplay. And so you have to lock in. Like sometimes like baseball, you can kind of like talk with your buddies, but like I really enjoy watching and learning more about the technicalities and like the strategy behind soccer. And American soccer is kind of the perfect way for me to have been learning that over the past year or so. And so that could be like 2 or 3 different soapboxes for other episodes. But yeah, we're about a month into all of these seasons, and it's just been really fun, and I'm excited for it to officially be spring I guess it is officially spring, but like weather-wise, officially be spring and summer, and watching soccer in really good weather. And I'm very excited for that heading into the summer.
Yeah, I think it's been an awesome journey. I think what's cool about it is scoring doesn't encapsulate the whole entire ordeal. Like we talked about the Oakland Roots game earlier against Orange County. Like that's a 1-0 game, but there was so much that went on.
Yeah.
And there was something that happened.
Just like a minute of gameplay too.
Yeah. So it's like anything can happen. I think when you see the passion behind the players and when you realize this is a global sport and we're trying to compete on that level, that changes a lot of things with the way that you could, view it.
Yeah. Yeah. So shout out American soccer. Another shout out, LOL.
Shout out.
But last week, Justin, we introduced picking games, and I got to start out by saying, who's the only person that got a point last week? Oh,
not the Richmond Kickers.
This guy. That's right. I nailed the Orange County Oakland game pick. So let's go. Even the score right. So I just gotta brag for a little bit. Starting off pretty solid. But I've got three more games for this week. Really big one at the end that we've been looking forward to for a while. So up first, Justin, San Diego versus San Jose. What's your prediction?
I should say I like this list a lot better than last week, mainly because I'm biased on all three games. I have kind of a fandom with all three. But I will be taking San Diego here. I think they're probably the best team in the MLS. They're one of the few undefeated teams between them, Nashville, and I think LA, right? And so I don't see them losing to San Jose. I think San Jose is actually pretty good. I think they're one of those teams that can beat a really good team, but you're not going to see them go far in the playoffs. But they're you can't sleep on them, right? They're waiting for you to sleep on them. So I'll take San Diego. Let's go ahead and do 2-1 San Diego.
San Jose has exceeded all of my expectations going into this season. I like San Jose. I like San Diego. I think this is going to be a 2-2 draw. Yeah, I don't know. It's screaming draw to me. Both have had good starts this season, and so I'm going 2-2 draw, and we'll see if that happens. But moving over to USL League One, I've got Boise AC versus Spokane Velocity. Boise has, they're a new team. I think they're playing pretty well. Spokane is obviously, they're in their third season, back-to-back championship appearances, so they've got a lot to prove. Justin, how are you feeling about this game? What's your prediction?
Yeah, so when I was first researching USL teams, I saw Boise, and I don't have anything against the team. I don't have anything against the city, but they just looked like a team I wouldn't like.
Okay.
Right? I was like, I'll probably root for somebody else. But in the last month of watching this, I've really started to really like AC Boise. And I'm just going to be completely biased, and I'm just going to say 1-0 Boise. Even though Spokane, I did get to catch their game last week, and it was very, they're fast.
Yes.
It's funny because they're called the Velocity, but they actually were very quick. But I'll root for my boys. Give me AC Boise. I'm trying to get on that scoreboard. Let's go 1-0 AC Boise.
Great. I'm going 2-1 for Spokane. That's my pick. I think Spokane will win, but Boise will have a good showing. I think it's going to be a late winner coming from Spokane. I think Boise's going to hold their own, and I think ultimately it'll be a really fun game to watch that I will hopefully try to watch. But I think it's at the same time as our last game, which is DC United versus FC Dallas.
Okay, why'd you say it like that?
Justin, what's your pick?
No, why'd you say it like that?
It's just DC United.
No, you were really excited.
Versus FC Dallas.
Okay. You know what? This isn't even I don't even have to. My bias is out of it. I don't even have to be biased for this game.
All right.
Because DC United can't score a goal. And FC Dallas has a weapon, and his name is Peter Musa. And you don't have him on your team. So 5-0 FC Dallas? I don't even know the score here. Y'all aren't scoring. And we're scoring. It might be 9-0 by the end of it. It might be a Lexington
5-0 is insane.
Game over,
oh my
I don't
gosh.
even care. I won't take the disrespect, Eddie. Give me.
Here's the thing.
Any kind. Okay.
Here's the thing.
Yeah, sure.
DC United. They've had 2 great wins so far this season. We're almost halfway to our win total from last season. And I think this weekend is the day that DC United get their 3rd win. Okay? And I think it's going to be a 2-1 win. And I think Ty Baribo is going to get both of those goals. And I think it's going to be DC United glory as we officially get over half of the win total we had last year, and it's only match week 6. That's my prediction. Vamos United. I'm going to be in the supporter section going absolutely berserk for this game. It's going to be electric.
You couldn't score in Atlanta.
Okay, the dome is a good atmosphere.
You couldn't score in Atlanta.
The dome's a good atmosphere, and y'all got to come play at Audi Field. Okay? Rowdy Audi for the Spirit, at least.
Rowdy.
Anyways, the house that Wayne Rooney built. Come on.
You know I love Wayne Rooney.
Exactly. But we'll see how these 3 games go. May the best man and teams win this weekend. Alrighty, that'll do it for our episode this week. Thanks everybody for listening and tuning in. Make sure to follow us, like, comment, subscribe if you're on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram. And Justin, what's the last word?
Roll that bean footage, Eddie.
Oh, that's so good. Up the Ruse, Vamos United. Thank you for listening. We'll see you next week.